good governor of Nairobi City County, Your Excellency Sakaja Arthur Johnson, the Principal Secretary, State Department for East African Community Affairs, Dr. Carol Karogo, Special Advisor to the Office of the President, Honorable Moses Kuria, Nairobi City County Member of Parliament in the National Assembly, Honorable Esther Passaris, Honorable Maina Karobia, Member of the East African Legislative Assembly, distinguished guests, all mourners. God is good, and all the time. Your Excellency, we had many speakers before you joined us, and the queue was, on average, each speaker took 1 minute and 23 seconds. I want to urge that we continue with that trajectory. May as many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. The ayes have it. With your permission, sir, allow me to invite the Orange Democratic Movement Party Chair, Kiambu County, CN Mbogwa. Kindly, CN briefly, and acknowledge your fellow leaders who are here. Karibu, sir.
Thank you, Maurice, Your Excellency, Baba Yetu, the clergy. I'll take less than the minutes I've been given. Mine is very, very simple to ask the ODM leadership to stand up wherever you are. I know we have Kiambu, I know we have Garissa, we have Mandera, and who else? Can you stand up, please? Kindly. Yes, I can see Kiambu, I can see the chair of Thika, the treasurer, and we had a chair from outside Kiambu County. Can you raise up Ari and the rest? Maybe they are gone. Thank you very much. I can only do up to Kiambu County if there is more recognition. I see the hierarchy here from the Orange House and all the others. I think that's not for me. We are very, very, very thankful, Your Excellency and the clergy, for the way that the whole of these arrangements have been treated by the church and the community around here, and even our colleagues from other parties in Kiambu County as a whole. So we feel very, very much honored, and we are proud that what our mama has been doing, Madam Mubi, is appreciated across the divide. With those few short words, I thank you and I welcome you to Kiambu once again. Asante.
Thank you, CN. Let me seek your indulgence. I'm being advised by our technical director that because we are streaming live, he's getting a background that is not too clear. I think up here will be. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Your Excellency, allow me to invite the Executive Director of the Orange Democratic Movement Party, Oduor Ongwen, to make his remarks and acknowledge any other leaders at the national level. Welcome, sir.
Mama Ngaru and family, the clergy, Your Excellency, our party leader, Your Excellency, the governor, and all protocol observed. Mine is not to talk on behalf of the party, because I'm a very small person in the party. When my party leader is here, I can't pretend to talk on behalf of the party. However, when introductions were done, some of the party leadership wasn't here, and I want to just acknowledge the presence of our national treasurer, Honorable Timothy Bosire. We also have our Director for Finance and Administration, Joshua Kawino. We also had Jack Ajuma, Bernard Kadundo, who had not been introduced. And on the technical side, we have Felix Gicod, who is streaming this function live. So as I said, I'm not going to talk on behalf of the party, but I'm going to talk about the departed. I've known Dr. Ngaru for 45 years, not through direct interaction, but through my friend and sister and comrade, Mumbi Ngaru. Mumbi and I joined the University of Nairobi on the same day and graduated on the same day. So through interaction with Mumbi, I was interacting with Dr. Ngaru, and therefore I'll be able to speak very confidently about the man Francis Ngaru was. Number one, Francis was a dedicated family man. And as the daughter has said, he showed it practically. Mumbi was a non-resident, commuting from Thika to Nairobi every day, every time he had a class. And not only that, Mumbi was very politically active. So when there were political events, Francis Ngaru would make sure that Mumbi was there. So I can confidently say Francis was a family man. Secondly, Dr. Francis Ngaru is somebody who was liberated, because Mumbi, as you know, is not a person you can box. And she was extremely active politically. But Francis Ngaru gave her that leeway. There are so many things we can say that he gave Mumbi the freedom to do. But one thing outstood. One day, after 1982, in a class, you know, the students were so politically active, and therefore the state also planted so many informers. So one day in a class, one of the students, interestingly, he's a former governor, came to class, and he was a state informer, sat next to Mumbi, and he had a pistol, and the pistol dropped. So when Mumbi saw the pistol, instead of telling him to take it back, she took the pistol and began passing it around the class, that we have an enemy here, we have an enemy here. That is Mumbi for you. So the political activities of Mumbi didn't start yesterday. That is what I'm confirming, and it was with the support of Dr. Francis Ngaru. So mine is to wish him well and to assure Mumbi we have walked a long journey and we are still together. Asante.
Thank you, Executive Director. Allow me to invite a good friend of this family, Kamau, who is also known as Kamau Waraira. Many of us don't know his other names. So Kamau Waraira, karibu.
Baba Askofu, to my sister Ngaru, Aduadeka Muriega, to Rago who and I gave you the Shiamuadani. Jitago Moha Kamau, no more Goria deto, na Retua Reta what, Querago Retuaneki. Retuaneki. Dadangu Mumbi, nataka kuleta rambirambi zangu kama Kamau na familia yangu na pia kama jamii ya chama kikuu kinachoitwa OD. Simunijibu OD. Mumbi tumejuana kwa miaka mingi, na yule mtu alinishikanisha karibu kabisa na Mumbi ni the late JJ Kamotho, na wakati ule walitoka KANU wakiwa na mzee, wakaja tukashikana katika Liberal Party ndio twende NAK. Hapo ndio tulikuwa na uhusiano wa karibu na tumekuwa na uhusiano wa karibu, na amekuwa mvumilivu kama mimi. Na ningetaka kuongea, nimesikia Githinji umeongea. Umesema mzee ashikilie mama yako, na mimi pahali niko nitaambia mzee kama iko kitu mama yako apate. Tuko sawa? Na nawishi mzee angelikuwa hapa nimwambie directly, sisi tunaweza kungojea huku nyuma, lakini kama kuna kitu kazi fulani ningeliomba mzee apatie mama Mumbi. Hamkuweza kutambua marafiki zetu wa zamani, iko watu walifanya kazi na mama Mumbi, nimewaona hapa. Muridi Thika, huyo alikuwa kansula, Wanjokera alikuwa kansula. Iko jamaa hapo nyuma, Wanjokera Rogama. Iko mtu anaitwa Mbio kutoka Limuru. Iko rafiki yetu wa zamani anaitwa PK Kariuki wa Murori. Huyu 1997 ndiye alikuwa anatusaidia wakati ule wa no reforms no elections. Vijana wakitaka tikiti tulikuwa tunaenda kwa huyu jamaa, na ni rafiki yetu. Lakini mimi nitaongea jambo limoja. Bishop, you have preached about morals, and I wish the church can continue talking about morals. I want to address watu wa Central Kenya. Where did we go wrong? Tureire ku. Tuateire jera ku. Just last year, watu ambao si wa kutoka nje ya kwetu walikuja wakaingia kwa shamba ya Mama Ngina. Where was the church? Why can't the church talk about it openly? Wakaenda kule wakaekelea vijana wa Uhuru kuwa wako na bunduki. Mnakumbuka wachungaji? Those are things that we must talk about. Todo toaga kwario horo wama ona korea tuthiete 2027 we are going to repeat the same mistakes. The same people who mobilized our young men to go to Mama Ngina's farm and alleged that Uhuru was keeping guns in his house are the same ones who are your heroes today. So where is the moral? Where are we as Mount Kenya people? We must start asking ourselves very solid questions. Sisi mzee ametuambia tutulize boli, tumetuliza boli. Lakini nataka kuwauliza, mnataka mzee aendelee ama awache? Watu wa Thika, mnataka baba aendelee ama awache? Mnataka baba aendelee ama awache? Asanteni.
God is good and all the time. Kamau wa Raila haukumaliza sentensi, aendelee kufanya nini? Asante. Niombe nimkaribishe aliyekuwa mjumbe wa bunge la gatuzi la Nairobi katika bunge la kitaifa, Mheshimiwa Rachel Shebesh, na vile vile awatambue wajumbe wastaafu wa bunge la kitaifa walo hapa. Karibu. I may need some usher here to assist on this staircase.
Okay. Bwana asifiwe. To my friend Mombi and her family, the clergy, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, Governor Sakaja, and all protocols observed. I want to first acknowledge Mheshimiwa Jude Jomo, who we were in Parliament with, since we are talking about formers, and I think Mheshimiwa has also been acknowledged, former MP for Gatundu, I believe. I want to speak to my sister Mombi. Many of us women, when you see us, you don't know where we came from. I only know Raila Odinga because of Mombi. Where has he gone? And I wanted to say this when he's here. I'm also only loyal to him because of Mombi. Because she taught me loyalty. And she taught me the politics of standing in a space where other people are not comfortable. When Mombi and I joined politics because of Mombi, I would have come into Bunge much faster if I had gotten the trick early ya kukimbia to where my tribe is. I would have been in Bunge for long. If I had played that politics, Mombi, you know we would have gone very, very far politically. But we didn't. We didn't because Mombi taught us that. And Mombi, therefore, I want to say, many people who are here, many women especially who are here, we hold you in high esteem. And we thank you for holding our hands. I want to talk to Mombi's children. I lost my father. And after imagining that my mother was well, and that's why I'm glad you've spoken openly. We imagined my mother was well. But there is a time my mother called us as her children. And she said, my children, from today I don't want to be your mother. I want to be your friend. Because if a friend is the one you call regularly, a friend is the one you go for a drink with, a friend is the one you rush to, then I don't want to be your mother. I want to be your friend. And I want to tell you my relationship with my mother since my father passed has changed dramatically. And so I'm asking you, even as we look for what Mombi can be occupied with, the joy Mombi will have is to be occupied by you. I've seen grandchildren here, and these days I'm a grandmother. And I'm telling you, if there is something I can do daily, is be with my grandchildren. So please avail yourselves and avail Mombi's grandchildren to her, because that is the most important thing right now in family. Let me speak a bit about our political loyalty to one Raila Odinga. And Baba, if there is a place where you keep your loyalty card, if Mombi is not top 5, then Baba, you don't know who is loyal to you. If she's not top 5, you have no idea what loyalty to you means. But I want to tell you what it has cost Mombi. Because we've cried many times with Mombi. It has cost Mombi, and her family will tell you, a lot of hatred, sometimes attacks, and it has cost her being the pillar for you, especially in this region, a lot. And therefore, when Mombi is here today and you're here, I am not surprised at all. I'm not surprised. But I want to say something that I know if Mombi was allowed to be the Mombi today, she would say. And Kamau Raila is Kamau Raila. What he says, nobody understands. So just get him. He's one of the most loyal people to Baba, but he talks in parables. So I'm sure everybody's wondering what he has just said, but he talks in parables. But I want to tell you what Mombi has taught me, Baba, and you have also taught me, is not to hold grudges. Not to hold grudges in politics. Because it will burn you, it will eat you up, and you will never move the country by holding a grudge. And that's why some of us watch you seated on TV next to Ruto, and we take a deep breath. But those of us who know you well, know that we have come from a journey where you will always do the right thing. And one thing I'm telling you, Kamau, and all the Kikuyus who are here, Moriega, no hea domatoe demo Gikuyu, demo Gikuyu. Kirea Kamau atarugani atiriri, kana nitumenyete haria twenda guikara ta bare ya Gikuyu, ta ruriri, ti bare, ta ruriri. To be so important in a country and then be manipulated. That is what we are hoping the lesson is, Kamau. But we can also not be without the rest of the country. There will be no day there will be a Kenya for a tribe. It doesn't matter how much money we have, it doesn't matter how many we are. Without the rest of Kenya, there is nothing. It doesn't matter who we are. That is a lesson from one Raila Odinga. And let me tell you, it doesn't matter whether you give him votes or not. Raila Odinga will always be actively engaged in the politics of Mount Kenya. You don't have to send him. He has his people and you have seen them. Mungu awabariki sana.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Shebesh. Your Excellency, sir, while you are away, Kamau Raila posed a question. And I think it will be maybe in private asked to you by your entourage, lakini hakumaliza sentensi. Niombe kwa unyenyekevu mkubwa, sasa nimkaribishe Mheshimiwa Bosire Timothy useme machache. Karibu.
Mama Mumbi, Your Excellency, all protocols observed, waombolezaji wote, Madam Mumbi, I have come to join your friends and the entire ODM leadership that has come to join you in this mournful moment. Nimekujua miaka mingi, but I never got a chance of knowing marehemu. As the rest have said, no doubt he was a great man. But the moment you are going through, God will comfort you. Your Excellency, among the many leaders in the ODM politics, I know Mumbi with a very rare character many don't have. She's principled and honest. Whatever the circumstances, she stands her ground. Many of us are dishonest and mischievous. That's why, walikuita Papa Scope, when you talk of corruption and the mismanagement of our country affairs, it's because we lack such a strong characters to be responsible for our national affairs. As we join you, Madam, we wish you comfort and wish you well as you manage in the absence of your dear husband. Finally, Madam Shebesh has mentioned something very important regarding the national leadership and how tribalism and certain perceptions have brought us to where we are. No community, however rich, however small, however important, whichever way, can make a difference in this country alone. When I'm saying so, I have walked this journey with His Excellency Raila Odinga, a man of great character and nature that can provide the required leadership in this country. But because of small attitudes, Baba endelee asiendelee, Baba endelee asiendelee, watu walisema aendelee, lakini hakueleza aendelee na nini. Your Excellency, this region which you have visited many times, this time around, they have learned a lesson that if you came around again to look for faults, I'm sure they will vote for you without looking back. All the problems you have gone through, Your Excellency, might have originated from this region. But given the lessons they have learned, the future is likely to be brighter. And when I'm saying so, I have the belief that you are coming again as the presidential candidate in the next elections. And I think that's what Kamau had in mind. Baba endelee asiendelee. Baba endelee asiendelee. Hata kifanya kichwa namna hii, Wakenya wakitaka, hata kama ni mzee, itakuwa ndio nafasi. Your Excellency, Kenyans are thinking about you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Bosire. I can only conclude that it's not easy to be Raila Odinga. Allow me, Your Excellency, sir, without much ado, to invite Honorable Esther Passaris to come and make some remarks. You're welcome.
The clergy, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, my Governor, Johnson Sakaja, our peers, fellow members of Parliament, distinguished guests, the family of Dr. Francis Ngaru. As we honor his life, Dr. Francis Ngaru, a man of integrity, intellect, service, we are also called to reflect on the times we're living in. The bishop reminded us of a sobering truth. Our society is grappling with diminishing values. We're losing the very virtues that once anchored our families, institutions, politics, respect, humility, compassion, and the reverence for life. We cannot ignore the sorrow that has gripped the nation following the tragic and senseless killing of our colleague, Honorable Charles Were. These acts of violence are a wake-up call, not just to mourn, but to rise and defend the values of men like Dr. Francis Ngaru stood for. Today, I stand in solidarity with his beloved wife, my friend, my sister, Dr. Agnes Ngaru, a woman of great strength and public service. I stand with their children and the entire family as they bear this immense loss. May you find comfort in knowing Dr. Ngaru's legacy of excellence, humility, mentorship lives on in each of you. Let us honor him by recommitting ourselves to restoring dignity, decency, and purpose in how we lead, live, and love, both in public and private. Allow me to end by quoting Micah 6:8. He has shown you, O mortals, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Now, because there have been some calls here, you know, when you look at me, I mean, first of all, I don't even know what tribe I should say I am. Sometimes I'm told I'm Greek, sometimes I'm told I'm Kikuyu, and sometimes I'm supposed to be Dutch because my grandfather from my mother's side was Dutch. But this man, Raila Odinga, a man that I deeply love, a man that has shown us how to do good politics, doesn't have a shred of tribalism in him. And as I stand in this mountain area, I just want to say that if there's one thing you can take, is the politics of tribalism will not help our country. And for those who are calling for the Right Honorable Raila to run or stand for presidency, we are not the ones who lead Raila Odinga. It is Raila Odinga who leads us. Let him tell us what he wants. And for now, I know the one thing he wants with the broad-based government is that we have peace and stability in this country so we can build prosperity for our people. Kenya is in a very bad place. It's not about politics, it's about people. And I know the Right Honorable Raila Odinga will do right, not by Raila Odinga, but right by Kenya. Because when it comes to love, he loves Kenya first, more than anyone else. And it will be Kenya that guides and informs his direction. So let us not pressure him. Let Raila lead us, not us try to lead him. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa. Allow me to invite Your Excellency now, Honorable Maina Karubia, East Africa Legislative Assembly Member. Welcome, sir.
Asante. The clergy, led by my bishop, Bishop James Kamura, and my provost, Stephen Dwati, the family of Dr. Ngaru, Your Excellency, the Prime Minister, Raila Odinga, Your Excellency, the Governor of Nairobi, and the Honorable Mheshimiwa Moses Kuria, who is also my friend and studying on all protocols. Muriaga doitu. Muriaga. Kwa majina ni Mheshimiwa Maina Karobia. By grace of God and the will of members of Parliament in Kenya, I represent Kenya in the East African Assembly. I bring the condolences to your family from the East African community, fraternity. I remember we talked with you via the phone the day before yesterday, and I was telling you that I was in Uganda, and I shared this news to my colleagues, and they sent me the condolences to come and represent them here. Right Honorable Raila Odinga, I want to thank you for working with this family and always holding the hand of our friend, Dr. Mombi Ngaru. Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, I come from the background that you have participated so much in building our continent Africa. You have contributed so much in building our country, Kenya. And before I continue, and before I even forget, I was sent by a delegation of the South Sudanese. I told you I was in Uganda for this week. And they told me that we as Kenyans must continue participating and helping that country to stabilize. And I know you are doing quite a lot in that country. I remember just last month you visited Salva Kiir and you visited even Uganda, trying to stabilize that country. And I want you to really, and I request you to really work with that country so that there is stability in that particular country. Please. Right Honorable Raila Odinga, I met my good friend, Mombi, who is also my colleague in the Legislative Assembly, even as much as she is a former. And it got me thinking what loyalty in politics is. Tulikuwa tumekaa hapo, Muthoni pia yeye alikuwa, lakini akajiexcuse kidogo. Tukakaa almost 2 hours. And in every 5 minutes we were discussing or we were talking, should mention your name. And it taught me as a young person who just got into politics what loyalty can mean. And if there is a loyal person, as Mheshimiwa Shebesa said, this lady, na hajachoka. Kwa hii siasa ya broad-based, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, kwa sababu hii serikali tunaleta kila mtu, tafadhali kumbuka huyu mama, kwa sababu ni mama jasiri sana. Some of us who come from this town of Thika, we benefit from the kind of leadership she left in our town. And as I've said, as we were sitting down last month with her, she gave me the idea that Thika is an idea. It doesn't matter the background you come from. All that matters is you put in hard work in everything that you do, and you're going to succeed in this town. And that's what some of us who are living in this town, we endeavor to succeed in our businesses, in our family lives, and in our religious faith. Something else that I collected from my sitting with her, and she gave me a story about her family, is that as a human being and as a Christian, there are 5 mountains of influence that you must always have to conquer. The mountain of faith, the mountain of family, the mountain of governance and public service, the mountain of art and entertainment, and the mountain of media. And when you read that book, the eulogy, and also what the family was saying here, you realize the Ngaru family, they have been able to conquer those 5 mountains that define a Christian life. So I want to really say that we didn't come here just to celebrate the life of the patriarch. We also came here to honor the family because of what you have been able to achieve as a unit, and also your service to the community, and also the service to our religious community. Kwa hayo mengi na machache, pole sana, na sisi tutazidi kutembea na wewe mheshimiwa, and East Africans, we miss you. Something that maybe Kenyans don't know, allow me to say, and it is something that we always revere, Mombi Ngaru. When you are in Yala, most of us will remember that time Kenya tulikuwa na shida sana ya ICC. Kubwa sana, because we had our president and the then deputy president together with the former president in the whole ICC matters. And we always had a certain image globally and also in the continent. But I remember, or what is collected in East Africa, is that you tried to clean our image and always defended our image as Kenya in the East African community. So to that, we really congratulate you, and we will always honor you because of protecting the image of our country and standing strong with our president then and our current president. Asante sana na pole sana kwa familia.
Well, thank you, Mheshimiwa. Your Excellency, allow me to invite now the Special Advisor, Office of the President, Honorable Moses Kuria. Welcome, sir.
My Lord Bishop, all the clergy, my sister Mombi Ngaru, Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, viongozi wote wakiongozwa na gavana wetu Sakaja, Mheshimiwa PS na viongozi wote, Bwana asifiwe. Nimekuja kuleta rambirambi zangu za familia yangu na watu wa kwetu. Mimi ni wa eneo hili, kwako mama na familia, kwa sababu ya kuachwa na mzee. I may not have interacted with Dr. Ngaru on a personal level, but we've been told by Odoro Ngwen that Dr. Ngaru spotted you, you must have been very young. So I can tell what kind of a man he is if he had spotted you that young. And knowing how resolute and how firm you are, I can only imagine. I went to school in this town. Tukiwa vijana wadogo, the image of Mumbi Ngaru was roaming large as a mayor. My father was a businessman in this town. And over the years, we have found ourselves on different sides of politics. I remember as a young man, during the Sabasaba of 1990, I was called by this man, Kariuki Muiruri and Gegi Muigai. Na hao ndio walinifunza kwanza jinsi ya kufunga barabara. Na tulikuwa tunafunga hapa Thika na Mumbi Ngaru na hii eneo lote. So over the time, I remember around 15 years ago, we were going on debates, on radio debates, on Kameme FM with Mumbi. And Mumbi was very firm. That time, mimi natetea Uhuru Kenyatta. Yeye anatetea Baba, Raila Odinga. And even when we are off air, instead of trying to argue with me, she would convince me like someone who is preaching for someone to get saved. So, pole sana mama. And Baba, let me tell you something. If you have a soldier, a very firm soldier, we couldn't understand during those turbulent times. And people from this region, whatever they cannot understand, they have to have a reason, an explanation. So we fish for an explanation for Mumbi Ngaru. How come anasimama na baba kila wakati? So ikasemekana Jaramogi alikuwa anatembea hii eneo, hiyo miaka. And we grew up believing that Mumbi is Jaramogi's daughter. Because we had no other explanation to give. Yeah? And it is the same virus I see with people who have been with you. Kuna so many unsung heroes here. Kuna jamaa hapa anaitwa Gishini. Huyu jamaa ile vita ametupiga over the years because of Baba. Unaweza kufikiria ni korogo. Yeah? And so many other people. So there must be something in you. And Kamau, unajua haukumaliza, mimi nitakusaidia kumaliza ile haukumaliza. Wacha na hiyo abosire. Kamau umesema Baba aendelee. And I think ataendelea na mambo manne. The first one is for his great forgiving heart. This is the other day, alikuwa amesimama 2017, alikuwa amesimama na ODM kwa kuwa na petition in Wajir. So the guy won the petition. Uchaguzi karudiwa, lakini kurudiwa, he defended his seat on a Jubilee ticket, not on ODM ticket. So juzi nikamwambia I am going to see Baba. Kaniambia mimi nakuomba kitu kimoja. Uende waambie Baba pole kwa sababu nilimkosea. Kwa sababu when the opportunity came, I did not defend my seat on ODM. Kaniambia my friend, Mheshimiwa, I cannot do that. I said, why? Because Baba will not even remember ulimkosea. Because that is the kind of man that he is. You have to try hard for Baba not to forgive you. Sasa hiyo Baba, hiyo roho ya kusamehea, endelea nayo. Hiyo ndio Kamau alikuwa anaongea. Ya pili ni mambo ya kuwa mtu ako na subra, patient. Baba, you follow the footsteps of David in the Bible. David, even after being anointed by Samuel, he could have killed Saul. He could have taken power from Saul. But even after anointment, he waited for 22 years. Imagine. Wengine wetu hata mwaka moja hatuwezi kuvumilia. David waited for 22 years. So, hiyo patience, subira yako Baba, ndio Kamau alikuwa anaongea, ni maneno yamekuwa machache, akashindwa kujielezea. So, nikaona wacha nimsaidie hiyo. Jambo lingine Baba, ambao Kamau alikuwa anaongea juu yake, ni mambo ya kupenda nchi yetu. It is so easy to do things because of what they mean for us as individuals. It is so easy to say, to hell with the country. But when the big hour comes, Baba, you always bed back for the nation. You don't bed back for individuals. You always bed back for the nation. Na that patriotism above all is what Kamau, kwa sababu hajatembea sana, alishindwa kusema, hiyo ndio Kamau alikuwa anasema tuendelee nao. Lakini ya mwisho baba ni kuwa mtu ambaye ako na plan, mtu ambaye ako na mpango, mtu ambaye hafanyi mambo kiholela, mtu ambaye ana calculate. Mimi siku hizi mnaona siongeagi sana, na shidaga na baba na niko na notebook. Na muangalia, nasoma mambo mengi sana. Na ni muhimu mtu kwenda kwa vita akiwa na plan. Tumeona watu wengi wameenda bila plan. Hii maneno bwana ni hesabu. Na inahitaji hesabu ambao ni ya kushinda sio ya kuanguka. So huyu mzee ako na mpango. Na kama anajua huyu mzee ako na mpango. Na hiyo ndio mambo alikuwa anasema mzee aendelee nayo. Mwisho, as I conclude, I know members of parliament, we are mourning the loss of our colleague, the Honorable Charles Ongodowele, who served with me in the 12th Parliament, and he wants really to pass our condolences to the family, ask for quick resolution in the investigation, and I hope the perpetrators will be brought to book. But at the same time, and I've been talking about this, yet time and again, it's also a wake-up call for the political class to remove the culture of using violence as a political tool. We are paying for our own sins. When we have got goons even attacking churches, heckling each other, violence begets violence. And I hope all of us will come together and stand firm and say no to the culture of violence as a tool of politics. Mama Mumbi, Mungu alaze roho ya mzee pema peponi, mpaka tukutane tena. Asante sana. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Honorable Moses Kuria. Your Excellency, sir, without much ado, allow me to invite now the Principal Secretary, State Department for East African Community Affairs, Dr. Karo Karugu. Welcome.
Thank you. The family of Dr. Francis Ngaru, our Lord Bishop and the clergy, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, Governor of Nairobi, and leaders present, good afternoon. Gaine mwega, geithia yugo, kai munogire, geithia yugo gaine mwega, na hindi ciothe. Now, I'm here to bring my heartfelt condolences to you, my sister Mumbi. A lot of you may not know this, but Mumbi and I are from Nyeri County. And I know she doesn't remember this, but allow me to remind you. When I was sworn in as Deputy Governor for Nyeri County, the first phone call I got was from one Mumbi Ngaru. She introduced herself to me, and she said, I will be here in case you need me. I am only a phone call away. Mumbi, for that honor, I'm truly, truly grateful. Thank you for holding our hands. Thank you. You're the women whose shoulders we stand on. When I heard the Honorable Rachel Shebesh speaking about your past, I said, Mumbi has created a culture of women who are strong, who are principled, and who are consistent in what they believe in. So you took the baton down to Madam Rachel Shebesh, and I can tell you she has done a good job also mentoring me. So for that, I'm truly, truly grateful. To the family of Dr. Ngaru, I lost my father when I was 13 years old. It was a tough moment for me. It was a tough moment for my family. You see, parents are our parents, but individually we grieve the loss of a parent. I just want to refer to you words that were spoken at my father's funeral. The words of 1 Thessalonians 4, verse 13. Because when you lose a parent, you're hopeless. There's a sense of hopelessness that begets you. But I want to encourage you with those words, that even as you mourn, you must mourn as people that believe, because I can see you're well brought up within the confines of church and religion. I pray that you find strength and grace and comfort to take the loss of your father. And as you mourn, remember that there will be a reunion between yourselves and your father. I won't speak much. As you know, now I am a state officer. I am gagged substantially from making political pronouncements, but I want to start by thanking our Lord Bishop for such a fantastic sermon. Did you people love this now sermon the way I liked it? Let us appreciate him. The Lord Bishop, you know, he said here he was struggling with mathematics, and he said that we have, at 60 years old, we have already been sleeping for 20 years. Quickly, I started to calculate. The life expectancy of any Kenyan right now stands at 67.7. That is, if you round it off, that's 68 years. So at 60 years old, Lord Bishop, you only have 8 more years to plan for if you're a Kenyan. Out of those 8 years, if you're going to do that arithmetics of sleeping for 8 hours, you only have 6 years to live. And therefore, thank you for reminding us to number our days and make them count. And if there's a gentleman who knows how to number his days and make them count, it is one, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. If there's anybody whose every day counts for something, it is this gentleman, this great man who sits with us today. I know that, and I know that because the Right Honorable, you know, for most of us in this region, Baba, we don't know you. We used to be told, growing up as little people, we were told to fear you, not even to come close to you. So those of us that have come close to you, other people fear us. They don't know what happens once you're in Baba's team, you're in Baba's team for life, and people cannot seem to understand why are these people so passionate about it. I'll tell you, Baba is a tribeless Kenyan. I would not be where I am today had it been not for Baba looking at me, separating the tribe where I come from, the region where I come from, and looking at exactly what I can offer. I remember when I applied for PS position when this government came into power, I called Baba and I said, I want to make an application. PS roles are civil service roles, and I will try. You know, many leaders would tell you, no, don't do that. We are not supporting this government. But I remember the words of Baba at the time that I called him. He said to me, Carol, this nation belongs to all of us. You have a part to play just like every other Kenyan. Go forth with my full blessings. Let us thank the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Thank you for releasing me to work with His Excellency President Ruto. I will make this country proud. And for those of you who are wondering why Baba is so passionate about putting his ambitions aside and being so selfless about Kenya, is because he's well-traveled. I happened to be working in his campaign team during the last, when we were looking for the chair of the chairmanship of the Africa Union, and we traveled various countries with him. I want to tell you, we have a beautiful nation called Kenya. If you're in doubt, look at just our neighbors. Look at what is going on in South Sudan. Look at Somalia. Look at DRC. In fact, I want to tell you, I sat in my first meeting in Arusha last week, and the stories coming from across the region, people could not even attend meetings because they cannot leave their offices, they cannot leave their countries because of the security situation. We have a good country because we have leaders like Raila Amolo Odinga who agreed to put aside their political ambitions, and they said the great nation of Kenya is bigger than me, Raila Amolo Odinga. We want to thank you, Baba. And it's good to thank people when they're still alive. Thank you so much. Thank you for even nominating me and putting me as part of your team, and later releasing me to go and serve the Republic of Kenya. Na inyuwa dwa ito tugi atiriri. Nimunajigua? Mugekuyo uga atiriri. Iregekoyo? Hello? Iregekoyo? Iregekoyo? For those who don't understand that French, look for a good person next to you and ask wamesema nini. Iregekoyo itiri ukavi. Thank you. This is a great honor for this region. Excellency, thank you for releasing me to serve the people of Kenya and to represent the Republic of Kenya in the regional realm. Finally, I want to thank posthumously the great Francis Ngaru Daktari. You know, I don't know much about men and marriage, but I will tell you, I know where a man is a great man. And if you want to know that a man is great, look at the caliber of his children. Look at the caliber of his wife. For a man to allow you to pursue your doctorate and not feel threatened that you will be too educated and too opinionated. For a man to marry a woman of the caliber of one Dr. Ngaru, for a man to raise children and grandchildren of the caliber of those that we have seen here, he was a great man. Kwa hayo mengi na machache, allow me to say, may Daktari rest in peace. I thank you very much.
Very well, thank you, Daktari, and we wish you well in your new posting. Your Excellency, allow me to acknowledge the presence of Senator Hamida Kibwana. Thank you for joining us. She was holed up in the matter that Mheshimiwa Kuria explained. Thank you. And also former Member of Parliament Ochieng Beo. Thank you very much. Thank you. Your Excellency, allow me to invite now to address us the Governor of Nairobi City County, His Excellency Johnson Arthur Sakaja. Welcome, sir.
Asante sana. Mama Mumbi, your family, Githinji, your siblings, the entire community that is around you, relatives, all who have been affected by this loss, Right Honorable Prime Minister, Baba, and all the leaders who we have here today, the clergy, asanteni sana for, taking us through a very beautiful service. And Bishop James, you had a very great sermon. Nataka tu niambie hiyo police station ilikuwa gani na hiyo hospitali ni gani. Those two things. Unaweza niambia kando ndo nijue ni wapi na ni wapi. Nyuma ya tent utanieleza. Dr. Mumbi, pole sana. We can see how affected your children are and you are. No one can say they understand the loss that you feel and the pain that you feel, but we are here for you. We are here for you as a family. There's a peace that God speaks about, or rather Paul speaks about in Philippians 4:7. It's a peace that surpasses understanding. That peace can only come from God. It cannot come from anybody else. When the dust settles, when everybody else goes back to their jobs or to their homes, that peace, it's only God who can give you. And we pray that you may have that peace. Yesterday, I was talking to Baba, and when he mentioned that he's coming, I said I must come with him and bring him, because I know the place in his heart that you occupy. And it is through my sister Rachel that I came to know you and about you, a paragon of diligence and loyalty and firmness. And this morning, Baba, allow me just to say, we were talking, and he said she's those ones who are there even when it is not convenient. We were tulikusengenya kidogo na Baba, because there are those who are with Baba when it is only convenient. But you have stood when it has been tough. You have been able to stand with him. And a few of you, Kamau, I know John, many of you who've been able to do that. Kamau will tell you, I used to hang out. I've been hanging out with Baba for a while. Before broad-based, when we watch football, we're football buddies. But those days we'd be just 3 or 4 of us. After they're so broad-based these days, when you see a list of PSs is coming out, there's so many people around, hovering around. Say, now parastatal, so many people. But Baba knows. He knows those who love and are there for him. So just because of that, I told him I must come. And we're here for you. What you can do is just to pray. But if there's anything that personally, as Governor of Nairobi, that I can do to ease the burden and just to hold your hand, please, you can count on me and your children and your entire family. You can definitely count on me. Reading the eulogy, this was a great man. This was a great man. And I really admire, I think, Wale Wazee, had such diligence, had such character, had such some values that we're losing in society these days. I wish we could go back to that simplicity, humility, no matter how great you are, just being able to be humble, to listen. And, as your daughter said, she's of few words. I think sometimes listening is more powerful than speaking. And words speak more than actions. The Bishop told us about the purpose-driven life. And that is a book I would recommend, if you've never read it, by Rick Warren, to go through it, The Purpose-Driven Life. I used to lead a Bible study on that book a few years ago, and I would love to do it again, because it talks about the fact that God has made everybody with a purpose. He designed you for a reason. And until you find that purpose, you'll have a very, very miserable life. No matter whether you get rich, whether you get power, whether you get... That's why you see people just getting lost no matter the power they have, because they're not fulfilling that which they were made for. You're designed with a reason. And God has designed everyone. He says, I know the plans I have for each and every one of us before you're made, before you're in your mother's womb. Thank you so much for reminding us about that book. And I'm very happy to see many of my friends, clergy over here from Nairobi. I don't want to speak politics today out of respect, but really we have had such a interesting, discussion from people here. What were Kiambu? Let no one tell you you're tribal. These people are not tribal. The people of the mountain are not tribal. I know I am the governor of Nairobi. If they were, I would not be. In fact, they chose me over their kin to be the governor. If they were tribal, would they have chosen me or my opponent? So it would have been my opponent. So mtu asiwasome. Mtu asiwasome. Msisomewe na mtu yoyote. Siku hizi kila mtu wamekuwa President Kibaki used to say you've become a genius overnight. Suddenly very smart. You cannot be suddenly very clever. Very clever all of a sudden. People make their choices. And even those who are trying now to put you in a box, wachana now. I was voted in senator. We were with Rachel. The people who voted for me senator did not think about tribe. They did not think about even party. In Nairobi, I got votes in ODM, from ODM. Because Baba defeated, he's always won Nairobi, by far. By far, I think this time by more than 200,000. My senator is ODM. My women rep is ODM. Out of 17 MPs, I have only 4 in my party. But the people decided who you to konae. Those are not tribal people. Those are people who look at the person. And by the out of these few years, I've really admired how in ODM you are a family. You are a true family. The relationships. When you hear Baba talking about any one member, he knows the parent, he knows where they are from, he has visited. Those are some of the things, Moses, I know we crave for, and we need to to be more relational. And I'm not talking about any individual, but us as a political family, I really admire how it is. So we are a part of that family, and we have joined you, and we are together, and I know we'll continue being together. So may God bless all of you. Thank you so much for being around the family. Asante sana kwa kutupatia nafasi ya kuzungumza hapa. Najua saa ingine wenzenu wamesema hawataki kutuona sisi tukiongea. But I'll tell you, the Bible says we are the salt of the earth. The church is the salt of the earth. Salt is mixed with food. You don't eat, then you eat salt later. The matters of the world are matters that concern God. We are all stewards. We are stewards of the spiritual side. We are stewards on the matters that are of concern to God. So I love the fact that the church and leaders can still engage. And so long as it is respectful, so long as, wale wa kutukanana kwa kanisa kwa madhabahu, that is desecrating the church. So I want to thank you for that respect and that honor. I think without much ado, do you have somebody else? Okay. Mungu awabariki, asanteni.
Well, thank you, Your Excellency.
Na atasimama. Please, let's just stretch. Please be seated. Thank you very much. Those are the be seated. Thank you very much. Those are the powers of an MC, and I have to use them well when I have the opportunity. So please bear with us. There are 2 glad children all the way from US. If the operator may have their tributes, please. We are nearing the tail end of our program. Like you agree with us, Governor, Mchungaji Ken, Bishop James, and the team, thank you very much. I thought you were ready. Do I bring Mheshimiwa Mombi first? Okay, thank you. So we want to give, but now when we bring Mheshimiwa Mombi, then you will be done. Here you are. Please give us sound. Thank you. Sound, please.
My name is Jenny Armia. tribute of my Ruka who passed away. And he was a very good, successful guy. He was smart, he was humble, he was nice. My mom always told me how he loved Germany and how much of a good guy. His English was very good, he was humble. Right now he's my guardian angel above me. So, like, I miss Ruka.
Hello, my name is Jason Mandia.
Thank you. The other one?
Tribute to my Hello, my name is Jason Mandia, and I'm here to give my tribute to my Ruka that passed away a week or two ago. He was a really good man. He had eyes to see a business. He was successful. He went to school, did his best, bought his first home, talked about how he had his first kids, talked about how when he was growing up, he wanted really to become successful, like the world around him. He failed many times, but the time he came back up, he never gave up. He really never. He saw success and he made it. He was a healthy man too. He ate all fruits. He didn't want anything unhealthy. And now he's resting up at the heavens. Angels.
So thank you very much. Now I want her to bring Mama, Honorable Mumbi, to bring her tribute. And she will have the honor to also bring Baba to also bring his tribute. Makofi ya mama, amefanya kazi hapa nchini na nje. Mama wa nguvu na wa baraka sana. Wimbo, okay. DJ.
Bwana asifiwe. Mom asked for a song. That's what we are waiting for. If it is not ready, we can. Pardon us, it is a Kikuyu song, but it says, "Whenever God I call you, you answers me." That is our request.
Thank you. God is good, and all the time. Yes, I want to assure you that I'm very strong, and I have accepted that Daktari is with the Lord. And that's why I'm at peace with myself, and as a family, we are at peace. We know we did what was humanly possible. The doctors did what was humanly possible. And we are saying it is well. It is well, and it shall be well. I have one first thing to do. I will ask Dr. Ngaru's sister to stand up wherever she is. Dr. Ngaru has one sibling now who has arrived, Mrs. Hannah Gachoka. Dr. Ngaru followed her, and now she's now my next of kin in Dr. Ngaru's family. I have other friends that I want to recognize before I say one or two things. I have Kariuki Moirori. Patrick Kariuki Moirori. Patrick Kariuki Moirori is the guy who picked me from my parents' home in Narumoro as a young bride. His wife, Rachel, is the one who chauffeured me in my wedding gown. So those are people that I needed to introduce. And Kariuki Moirori is the person who got me into politics when I was a good business person in Thika. He made me, with others, David Morade, and the SDP team, you nominated me as a councillor and put up your efforts to make me the mayor of Thika. I will always be grateful. The only problem he has had with me, Baba, is that I did not follow the trajectory of the community. That's the only one he always complained about. But later on, he has always thanked me that I have not let him down. Thank you very much. I have friends from a long time ago who held my hand when I got into the deep sea. And that is Professor Gumbe, Osheng Beo, Engineer. You know, these are guys who held me by the hand and walked me through the deep side of Lake Victoria. And therefore, I thank you. Clergy, Bishop, there are many things that are not known about my relationship with Baba. And I want to just say my bit, because in this world, if you don't understand, you do not understand your purpose. Most of us get lost. I came to identify my purpose in the political field as, you know, an enabler. An enabler. And why is this? When Dr. Ngaru landed in Germany, he met Baba there with his elder brother who had been there before him, and Baba was already calling Dr. Meano, and his children are here, his brother. So they received young Dr. Ngaru as their brother. Then, after they finished school and university school, and they came back to Kenya, those of you who remember at one time, Jaramogi Odinga was under house arrest, and after he came out of house arrest, he was named the chairman of Cotton Mint and Marketing Board. The technical director then was Dr. Ngaru's elder brother, who was in Germany with Baba. And I stayed for a long time without telling Honorable Raila Odinga that Jaramogi himself has had porridge in my house. And when he had it, he asked me, why didn't you tell me? So I believe, deeply believe, that this is not an accident. I am there by God's design as an enabler of Baba's path into the political field. And therefore, as Moses Kuria said many times, that I was accused of being his stepsister, and it made my mother cry. Yeah. That is the story that I would want to tell everybody, and the family has always treated me as their own because of that reason. The other reason I want to just say kidogo, Baba, you have just been my big brother, a big brother. That when he knew Dr. Ngaru has been ailing for the last 5 years, he gave me sick leave. He accorded me sick leave. He only called me when he needed me. But because of COVID, now we are able to work at home, and I will always be grateful. And when most of you go to the office, I'll say, you have forgotten Mombi. They don't want to tell you. They ask, you think you can remind me of Mombi? I know where Mombi is. Go take your, your request somewhere else. So he has treated me even on that leave of absence because of Daktari's medical condition as one of his staff members. And I thank you all the time. The party, I have no words for the party, but Thika does not know that me, Baba, and Honorable Najib Barara, we are the one who folded the Liberal Democratic Party, where I was the Secretary General, and our members are here, and formed ODM. Now you know why I am a call away, because if we need to fold ODM, maybe there are strings that I would pull and we do something. Now I have finished my political bit, and now I will go to Dr. Ngaru. And the biggest legacy for me, I got married when I was a first year at the University of Nairobi. And a young girl, somebody who has a PhD, I didn't think he was serious, you know. So friendship for more than a year, and the guy became serious. And he bought me the first car to drive to school when I was a second year, but we were still living in Thika. And then the children came one after another, one after another. And by the time I graduated, I had 5 degrees. I had a husband and 3 children and the Rio degree. That was great. And I became a civil servant, and I was posted as a DO. And the children were small, and Daktari was traveling out of the country so many times with SK Macharia, doing the Madhu Paper international project that was going to come Thika. It is then that I resigned from the public service. And I thank God that I jumped out at that time. This Thika community held me when we had an opportunity to get into family businesses. You have seen for yourselves, and many of you didn't know that I have a breaded family. Some of you are knowing this one now. I want to thank you, children. I am the one who joined you. Peter wrote to me directly from Germany. And when I went to Germany, I looked for him. Christine was left by her mother when she was 6 months old, and I picked her when she was 3 years old. I want to thank these children because I've brought them up together and they have become one family. And I want to assure everybody, we will not have a problem with them. Dr. Ngaru gave me the freedom to be, the freedom to soar. It is hard dealing with me in a political field that most of you don't believe in. I know what he went through. It was not easy. And there are a few times he had to bear the consequences of being told that he has received dowry from Raila Odinga. That's a story for another day. But he allowed me to soar. And there is not a bigger legacy than allowing a woman like me to work with a community you don't agree with, thrive in an industry that by that time I was the only woman who was running service stations. And he gave me the freedom even to look for his children. It's not easy. They normally hide. If I'll be lying if I didn't tell you that most of our community gentlemen, children meet at a burial. And you find that corner has a family that looks like your children, and another corner there is another. It's the truth. It is the truth. And you find when you are doing Mashakaya, you hear there is another tent in another estate of another family and another one in another town. So I want to say thank you to you all that Dr. Ngaru allowed me to put his family together. But I put a cut off. I will announce it here. Muthoni is my last born. Anybody else after my last born, Muthoni, is not a part of my family. And with those many remarks, allow me to invite the honorable brother I have, Honorable Raila Odinga. Thank you very much.
Hiya. You may be seated. The clergy and all those who have come to help us to escort our brother. Muriega. Muriega rengi. Gainiwega. Gainde shudhi. Asanteni sana. I am in a rush because I'm going to have to board a plane in the next 1 hour at the airport. That's why I was very, very impatient there. But I was here last Saturday, and I said I would come today for this particular occasion when we are escorting our brother. And we're happy to welcome our visitors from Germany. Willkommen hier und herzlich Beileid und den Verlust eurer Vaters. Okay? Er war ein großer Freund von mir. Und wir haben uns über 60 Jahre getroffen. In Deutschland. In Leipzig. I was just explaining to them and welcoming them. It is now, I was just calculating, and I found it is exactly 61 years ago when we first met with my brother here. I was ahead of him there by 2 years. And as has been said, I met his elder brother, Charles Mburu Miano. He was already in his third year at the University of Dresden when I went there. But we met in the city of Leipzig. If you follow Bundesliga, there's a club there called RB Leipzig. That is from our town. That is where we are doing the preparation to go to university. You have to go there and pass the German university entrance examination, where you can then be admitted to a German university. So Francis followed me, and we welcomed him, and we had a very good time with him those days. From then, as you have seen, he went to Dortmund, and then after that he went to Freiburg, where he studied and eventually got his PhD. This is a true Kenyan who is somebody who is very, very moderate and is very welcoming. I did not know, because when I met Mumbi, she was Mumbi Ngaru. Little did I know that she was the wife of my friend. It took a very long time. And when we met with him, we were speaking German. Mumbi, of course, was not understanding what we were saying. We were backbiting her. But he was somebody who was very professional in his work. You've seen the kind of things that he has done after he came back to Kenya. But he also worked in Germany and had a family in Germany, and I'm happy to see that Mumbi has been able to welcome this German branch of the family. And that's why I'm saying, willkommen nochmal hier. Kenya und auch hier in Thika. Fühlen Sie sich zu Hause. Yeah. So I'm happy. I wanted to say many other things, but because I'm in a rush, I'm going to leave this for some other time. But Mumbi is somebody who's very committed to her work. She has a true Kenyan spirit of nationalism. Ethnicity is no issue to her. She thinks a Kenyan. And you know, a number of Kenyans have got this disease of thinking first as a member of this tribe or this clan before they become Kenyans. And I've been trying to tell Kenyans, think first as a Kenyan before you become a member of another community. When you become a Kikuyu, Luhya, Mkamba, and so on. That is when we are going to develop a country. I'm saying this because I lived in Germany. Germany was a country that was very divided. They had different kingdoms which are basically ethnic. Bavaria, Bayern, that's where Munich is. That's a tribe. Prussians, that's where Berlin is, called Preußen. This was another kingdom. Saxony, where Leipzig is, was another kingdom. Hessen, where Frankfurt is another kingdom. Then Rhineland, where Cologne is another kingdom. Then Hansa, Hamburg, those areas. Wildenburg, and so on and so forth. And for 33 years, one time, they were fighting against each other. The war is called, in German history, 33-jähriger Bürgerkrieg. It is only a prince of Prussia called Otto von Bismarck who came out with his centurions, physically, forcefully united these different nationalities and created one united Germany. Work hard. The English and the French are going to look down upon you like second-class Europeans. So introduce what is known as iron rule in Germany. You work or you are disciplined. And that is the basis of Teutonic discipline that we have today. Today you see a German telling you, look at Mercedes-Benz, look at BMW. No Italian can make that. No Englishman can make that because of that discipline. And that is what we've been trying to tell Kenyans. Think as a Kenyan first before you think as a member of the community here and there. I'm surprised all the time when I come here and people say they fear Raila. We have all the time been working together. Jaramogi is the one who stood up in parliament and said that Jomo Kenyatta and all those who detained with him were under the two leaders of Kenya. He was disowned by members who came from this region in parliament. Go and read the Hansard. But he went on and kept on saying Uhuru na Kenyatta until eventually Kenyatta was released. Kenyatta was released to Jaramogi. Jaramogi, who took Kenyatta to Gatundu, his home, he was released to Jaramogi's hand. Chukua hiyo Kenyatta yako. Deny. And Jaramogi and Kenyatta were one thing with independence. They only disagreed ideologically, not ethnically. Not because Jaramogi was a Luo or Kenyatta was a Kikuyu, no. And that is normal generally in politics. But then me, I've worked with members of this community for a long time. How we started with Kenneth Matiba, Kenya Football League, and organized soccer in this country, that Kenya became #1 in the whole of this region. Kenneth Matiba. And when Kenneth Matiba was in trouble with Charles Rubia, he came to me and said, there's a problem here. These people want to arrest us. Only Jaramogi can save us. Arrange for us to meet Jaramogi. And arrange a meeting with Jaramogi, Matiba, and Rubia. And we talked there about how we can fight to change Section 2A and bring back multipartyism. And that's when we met after that meeting, we organized a Kamkunji. Matiba, Rubia, and yours truly were arrested and detained together. Where Rubia ended up being very sick, Matiba got a stroke, and so on and so forth. But we had worked together. We came out back here, we started a Ford. Kenya, Ford. Later on they came and split it into Ford Kenya and Ford Asili. But we had to work together with those people. Fast forward again, when the opposition was divided in 1992 and lost elections, the Nyayo's 34% against opposition's 66%. 97, we were not able to unite. We were defeated. 2002, when the opposition was divided again, I said Kibaki tosha and campaigned for Kibaki when he was injured until he became president. Did I not know that Kibaki was a Kikuyu? Did I not know that Kibaki was a Kikuyu? I knew. That's what the idea saying that Raila is an enemy of Kikuyus, I don't know where it comes from. We only disagreed with Kibaki when people around him decided not to implement the constitution that we had agreed on, the basis of. So people talking about ethnicity are talking cheap politics, which really have no roots here. But today we are all escorting our brother. And, but I want us to be united as a people. Kenya is much more important than any one of us. If Kenya burns, we have no country. We've seen around us, Somalia, from 1991 up to today, is in turmoil. Look at South Sudan. Look at DRC. Look at Ethiopia. And some other countries around us here. It is better to have peace that we're having here and push and go and have a peaceful election than to have turmoil in this country. Because if it disrupts, you don't know the end. That is the message that I want to convey here. And finally, I want to say that Parliament must not try to change the Constitution because of narrow ends. The Constitution that we brought here brought devolution. Devolution need to be defended. Today there's a Gazette notice. They are saying that they want to amend the constitution in order to legalize this CDF national government. What does national government have to do in the counties? In counties, we have counties which have got executive powers to implement. Let the national government let go of resources to the counties as provided for the constitution. Health is devolved, provide the fund down there. Roads also, is devolved. You don't need Kura and Kera. Have only Kenha for the national government, dealing with international highways, national trunk roads, and feeder roads, and leave all the other roads in the regions to counties and send the money down there. Why should you be building markets for counties? Let counties build a market themselves. How about affordable housing? Let counties build affordable housing. Then you will not be talking about 15%. You will be talking about 35 to 40% devolved funds. Then you can blame the governors if they're not working. But you cannot blame Governor Sakaja for roads in Nairobi which are not under his jurisdiction. Most of the roads in Nairobi are not county government roads. They are all Kura and Kera roads. What is Kera doing outside Nairobi as a city, the capital of the country? So let devolution work in the honor of Dr. Ngaru. I want to end by saying, may the Lord rest his soul in eternal peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. May we appreciate His Excellency once more for those words of wisdom. May we be seated and remain calm as Bishop Muriithi continues with the program.